Greetings, fellow Covenanters. Today I'm joined by Lance Davis, Executive Minister of Develop Leaders and Ordered Ministry. I'm so excited to share with you about a significant event that's coming up in June. Lance, welcome. How you doing today?
Thanks so much for having me, John. I'm doing well.
Oh, it's always good to see you. You know, spring is bursting forth all around us. Many of us are starting to see the daffodils and the crocuses and all the other flowers coming up. And it reminds us that we are entering into a new season. And this parallels the new season many of us are beginning to feel personally. We feel hope rising. Many of us are beginning to reconnect with the things that we hold dear. People like family and friends and gathering together in churches after months of disconnection and isolation. We're so excited that we start to feel things opening up, and yet at the same time, we still feel this COVID passivity and this COVID fatigue and this unprecedented season in which we're living. There is hope in that the covenant is entering a new season of connection. After the cancellation of last year's annual meeting due to the pandemic, we are thrilled that we found a new way to meet virtually this year for our 135th annual meeting at Gather 2021 between June 23rd and 26th. Now, a very important part of Gather is the service of ordination, commissioning, and consecration. It's something you don't want to miss. Lance, as Executive Minister of Ordered Ministry and Develop Leaders, you play a unique role at Gather overseeing this service of ordination, commissioning, and consecration. This service really is the essence of what it means to be a part of our covenant family. So Lance, can you take a few minutes to explain why the spiritual significance of the ordination service is our most sacred ritual within the Evangelical Covenant Church?
Yeah, sure, John. Again, thanks for having me. As you know, the Service of Ordination, Commissioning, and Consecration is the culminating event of Gather 2021 this year. The ordination service itself is an open and public display that the Covenant Church affirms and confirms upon each and every called and gifted individual. During the service, covenant ministers who have already been ordained will lay hands on the ordination candidates and give yoke for the call of Christ. There is a sense of the passing of the torch of apostolic ministry, and this is affirming the call and giftedness of the ordinand. Afterwards, each candidate is credentialed not only into a family of preachers, but more specifically into this blessed ministerium of the Covenant Church and members of the beloved community of the church in general. So the full weight of being called as a covenant pastor is realized at that time, John. At the end of the service, clergy turn and extend their right hands over the audience. And this helps the members of the covenant to realize that the work of the calling of the church is still very much alive in men and women all over the world and still receiving the call into ministry to this day. So it's our hope that more covenanters than ever will be able to witness this deep and rich, meaningful service of ordination as we make it available virtually.
Yeah, that's awesome, Lance. Can you tell us more about how will the ordination ceremony translate into a virtual format?
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, we're blessed as a church, and we're blessed to have digital resources in place so that the ordination service can be conducted virtually this year during Gather. The Bibles, certificates, and stoles will be mailed to the finalization candidates in preparation for this event. But the laying on of hands, which is also a vital part of the ordination ceremony, that will happen in person. So it would be a breach from covenant history and the spiritual richness of the tradition if we didn't include the laying on of hands. So in order for that to happen safely this year, instead of meeting as large groups, each candidate will gather with small groups of other covenant ministers who have already been ordained. And the logistics of this process are being organized by individual conferences, and appropriate safety protocols will be in place. But each individual will be able to go to either super sites in their conferences or in their local churches or even in their homes as an ordained minister is laying hands on them. It'll be an incredible sight. So during the service, all candidates will be ordained, and Serve Globally personnel will also be commissioned at that time.
Lance, I so appreciate the creativity and the innovation around this, turning this obstacle into an opportunity for even more people to participate. Hey, I'm just curious, how many people are going to be ordained this year?
Yeah, so this year, since we didn't meet for Gather last year due to the pandemic, we're anticipating 99 women and men to be ordained this Gather 2021. 40% of the candidates, John, are women. And we should also know that we have a tremendous growth in the multi-ethnic pastoral representation in that number as well. So we celebrate that. So again, thanks for asking.
Thank you, Lance. And I'm so glad that you drew attention to, we're not just mission friends, we're a mosaic of mission friends. And that just adds so much of that kingdom beauty to our life and mission together. So Lance, I'm really looking forward to joining you, serving alongside of you as we both participate in that service of ordination. Everyone, registration is open at gather.covchurch.org. And we look forward to gathering together in June. God bless you.